Hey. Welcome to
Hey,
another episode of Politics and Wellness. I am your host, Captivating Christian, and co-host.
Mr. Credentialed.
Hey, how you doing? Patty Duke, welcome to the room. Um, and welcome to the four others that are in the bushes, skybox, or wherever you. It's more like the balcony here at Cap Hill, but welcome. Please hit the thumbs up button, please, on your way in or in the balcony. It'd be greatly appreciated.
Yes.
All right. So, yeah, usually I start, but I'll let you start this week.
Okay.
So,
So, first of all, I hope that everyone is doing well. Just considering the lay of the land,
right.
I hope that you are doing well, first off,
Yeah.
yourself, personally, and then your family. I hope that your family is doing well because we are in times that we all need some sort of encouragement. So, that's why
Yeah.
we're here. So, I want to talk about growth and how everyone around you will not be comfortable with your growth.
Right.
Um, your growth will make some people uncomfortable, and so much so to the point where they will begin to dislike you.
Mm.
And that's something that you have no control over. You are not responsible for how people feel about you. You are only responsible for how you handle yourself.
Right.
So
I'll drink to that. Go ahead.
if
I said I'll drink to that, but go ahead.
you are only responsible for how you handle yourself. And I've experienced this myself. I've seen it with other people. I've witnessed it. I've heard people have confided in me about the way that someone else was changing and
Right.
how they were uncomfortable. So
Right.
if someone chooses to go to college and better themselves, who are you to get upset because they can't party like they used to?
Right.
If my growth makes you uncomfortable, or if your growth makes someone else uncomfortable, then they need to question what is it that they're doing in their lives that they need to change.
Yeah.
Because nothing about anyone else's life, their growth, their upcoming, or their downfall should make you
Mm.
uncomfortable.
Mm.
Because even if someone is growing, they still have more to do. You should be trying to push them harder. If
Yeah.
someone is down below you, or not below you, because you shouldn't be comparing, but if they're below where you expect them to be, you should be trying to reach them to bring them higher.
Right.
So don't allow anyone's growth or anyone's stagnation to make you uncomfortable because you cannot change anyone. You can
Mm.
encourage, you can speak, you can talk, you can converse, you can even not want to do any of those things. But no matter but at the end of the day, you can only change you. And that's who you're responsible for is you. And
Yeah.
you also have to understand is that when someone truly cares about you, they will never let what you're doing and the things that you do in your life affect how they operate with you.
Right. Yeah, very true. The reason why I even asked you to go first earlier today, it was a young brother who um, I'm not going to mention his name, uh,
Okay.
but you know who it is once I start to say some of the stuff. Had a situation, and I've always, kind of been there to be like, speak encouraging words or whatever. And I do know that a lot of times, especially on YouTube, there is this whole um, to be there for the mess or to celebrate in the mess and nobody there to like really pick up and uplift. And at times we do need to do that. We do need to, not always celebrate, never celebrating anybody's downfall or, you know, downtrodden times, but to always uplift. And, it's always looked down upon because, again, people's like, oh, I'm just here for the mess. I click on because I know it's going to get messy. And it's like, that shouldn't be the goal. That should never be the goal for people. And I just find it to be just a bit.
Yeah.
But
It should never be the goal. First off, let me pause and say because if I don't, this is going to you guys are going to get away from me. So welcome, Patty
yeah,
Duke, Simply Story Time with Shay, Nate, Lady Linda, Miss T, Haitian. Thank you for coming through as always. Armand, Antoinette. I already said Patty, Official D, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's a repeat.
yeah,
Thank you all so much for coming through.
Yeah, because usually I always do it. So I'll just switch it up and let you do it this time.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. Again, please hit that like button on your way in or in the balcony. It definitely helps with the algorithm, which is helpful to make sure a lot more people see what we have to deliver.
yeah.
So,
So, just to piggyback real quick on what you said,
mhm,
that you can have fun and cut up. Cap and I are cut up together without each other. We've been cutting up for years. The nature of our friendship started from cutting up. It's nothing wrong with cutting up, but when you
slide shade
take
coming in for rehearsal, like, oh, it's you.
he used to drive me insane because he used to get on my nerves. It just was relentless. Like, boy, will you shut up? But the the point is that it's nothing wrong with
That's
cutting
funny.
up. But when your end all goal is to have a malicious intent,
Right,
who are you? I don't like to say that I can be malicious, but if I wanted to expose some things about some people that I know, I could.
right,
But what justice would that do me?
right.
What right would that give me to do it? I'm not just because I'm about mental health and I'm an advocate for it, doesn't mean that I don't have my own mess that I'm working through. But just because I'm working through something, it doesn't give me the right to project that. And you have to be mindful about what you say, who you say it to, how it can affect them, and the long term goal. Because there's some people that are still suffering right now, 20 years later, from something that somebody did or said to them
Right.
years ago,
Yeah.
because they believed it, because you made them believe it, because they were so low at the time when you said it to them. And
Yeah.
no matter how high they get, they're still going to suffer from what you said.
Right.
You do not have the right to do that. You don't.
Yeah. Childhood trauma is serious.
It
And it's
is.
something that a lot of us carry on. And another reason why I asked you to kind of go first to get your perspective, because I basically told the young man, like, hey, you want to be loved. I get that. Everybody does. Nobody really wants to be by themselves.
Right,
But you have to deal with what you have. Like you have to deal with that child. Like you
right,
gotta sit down and talk to that child like, hey, it happened. I'm
right,
sorry,
right,
but let me take this. Trust me to let me take this further.
right,
Because all you're doing at this point is carrying that young person, that hurt young person around.
right,
As a grown man,
right,
you're carrying that. I mean, a lot of, you know, men and women are doing the same. But just speaking from the men's perspective, a lot of men are like that.
right,
When women be like, "Oh, I don't understand," a lot of men are. Some are dealing in adolescence, like they are fully grown
right,
mentally. They are wherever they were stuck when
right.
whatever happened happened.
Exactly, exactly. And let me say this, you don't need to understand, but you need to respect it. You don't have to like it. You
Right,
don't need to know the depths of my soul. All you need to know is that I'm just like you. And if you have stuff, you need to respect the platform on which I stand, because you don't know what the other person has been through. So don't compare, but you need to respect them.
right, right. Hey, real mama, real problems. Thank you for dropping out the clouds. I appreciate it.
Yes,
Um,
stumble on out the clouds more often. We appreciate you.
right, right, right. But yeah, no, it's very true. You know, a, a situation happened
Hmm.
without going into detail and telling this person's business, but a situation happened, and I immediately got um people got on the phone, people shared it, and collectively, truthfully, we all kind of came together to help the person get out of a situation.
Okay,
And that made me feel good. It just did.
good.
Because it showed that although, yeah, it may be messy, it may be all kinds of things at times, there are people still that are concerned enough to put all that aside and go, hey, we need to figure out a way to help this person.
Right.
Now, at the end of the day, though, the person does need to be accountable as a man and be accountable for his actions.
Right. Right.
And that needs to be delivered. There's
Right.
nothing past that. That needs to be delivered. Hold on a second. So that needs to be delivered. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Because a lot of times we go from other things and there's no accountability.
Right.
You know,
Right.
there's no holding you to the fire for your actions.
Right. Right. Right.
I was never raised that way. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you're
You
accountable
was
for your
raised
actions.
in the fire.
I don't care what nobody else did.
Right.
My mother would tell me this. You'd be like, but no, so and so, nah, don't care. But the teacher don't care. What did you do?
Right.
So, and I hold myself to them by the same standards. And yeah, sometimes I even go hard on myself. But from someone who I know has not learned how to do that, that's a thing that definitely needs to happen. But it's a process, and
it is a process, but we can't let the fact that it's a process go unprocessed. And when we go and when we collaborate, what's
no, I'm laughing at you. Talking about go unprocessed.
when we collaborate to help people out of situations and they don't do the work that they need to do to not get back into it, they will be back
Get
there
back
again,
into it over and over and over
and
again.
you have wasted your time. So we got to be careful what we intervene on, because some people are reaping the situation in which they created. They're reaping the results of what they created.
I'm lost.
Yeah, I'm lost too.
Maybe they were
There's
talking to each other. Maybe they were talking to each other.
in the chat.
Because I was like, huh? What kind of impression did you give?
I'm like, I'm glad I wasn't the only one, because okay. But no, I mean, we're not making fun of whatever's going on with you guys, but we as hosts, we were just
Right.
lost.
We don't,
So, we got
when we're talking, we
Right.
just talk to each other and then we'll look at the chat. So at
Right.
that moment, we happen to both, I guess, look at the chat and be like, what? But real mama, you good. But yeah, I just I don't know. Like I guess I'll say this. As a young man who, figured it out kind of on his own, had an older brother, but it wasn't the same. It was like, this is what it is. It was never nothing like that was really listen, that didn't happen until later on, when we got older and stuff like that. But growing younger, it wasn't that. Listen, little brother, this is that.
Right.
So when I had friends, it became that way. It became to where in which, if I was older and I knew more, it was like, hey, let me show you this. Let me guide you. And I guess that's where I come from with it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my mother steps in and like, oh, no, you gotta, you can't grow from it, or you won't grow from it necessarily until you sit down and say, hey, what part did I play in this?
Right. Right. Because
And
you all play a part. It wouldn't exist if you didn't. It takes two to tango. So you can't say, oh, they did. Okay, but what did you facilitate? Even if you were right in your facilitation, what did you facilitate?
right. True. Very true. Very, 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 very true. Very, very, very true.
So,
Yeah.
if you get nothing from this, own your stuff.
Yeah.
Own it.
No, you can say it because we're monetizing.
No.
Own your shit.
You say whatever you want to say, but I'm not going to be responsible for it.
No.
Own your stuff.
Own your shit.
Own your stuff. And after owning it, fix it. And after fix it, don't repeat it.
Well, first of all, know your shit stinks. When you own
Well,
it,
everybody's does.
No. But see, that's the thing. When you own your shit, you have to know that your shit stinks. That's the issue. Because a lot of people will say they own it, but they don't necessarily think it stinks.
Well, then that's the case. Then some of these YouTubers need to go on about their business because I smell it, I see it. So everyone thinks that they poop gold, and it's not true. So that's what I hesitate to say own it because you can't make anybody own something that they don't want to own.
I do the same thing. Sorry.
No,
Patty Duke, I do the same thing to my older sister. I always have to remind her that you are not my mother. You are just my older sister. And he's laughing because he knows we can have plenty of hold up, stop,
right,
rewind. Your kids ain't too far from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, check yourself,
right,
and then we move forward. But
right.
yeah, we've had plenty. We
Yeah.
have one right now. Where like, stop it. But yeah, Patty Duke, I totally get you. But anyway, yes. Yeah, very true. We just I don't know.
It
Maybe one day.
it it is just it's difficult because nobody wants to be wrong. Everybody wants to be right. They got umpteen reasons as to why they did something or they didn't see it that way. But if you don't see it, then stop acting, stop doing, stop projecting. Take a minute and start to really evaluate yourself. Not a self-evaluation on the camera, because if you're talking to me about who you are, you don't really know who you are because you don't need to talk about it. Like we're not on here telling you who we are because we know who we are, and if we don't know, we're working on it. But we're going to show you who we are by what we do,
You see
by
it
what we say,
reaction. Yeah.
and what we type, and how we interact. That is who we are. So don't let anybody fool you into thinking that there's somebody different than outside of the way that they act. It's a part of who they are. Patty Duke. Patty Duke. Yes. There is it's definitely a scent out here, Patty Duke. And when I say out here, I mean outside of YouTube. There is a scent that exists outside of it, and you can't be. Life isn't always going to smell like roses.
Yeah.
Life is going to smell
Life is
like
gonna smell like shit. Life is gonna be shitty. I
yeah.
mean, just
Look
you
at the
know,
state of being that we're in right now.
but it is what you do in it. It's how you maneuver through it. Um, yeah, it's hard for everyone,
Right.
but sometimes, and I learned this from you because you used to always go, you gotta focus on you. You never help people, but you gotta focus on you. And I
Yeah.
truly, and I had to get into myself and say, hey, me focusing on other people does not make me. I have to stop thinking that if I don't focus on other people or help other people, I'm a bad person.
Right.
Because overall, I know I'm good.
Right. Right.
And I have to take that time to focus on me and do what I need to do for me. Because if I
Yep.
don't do what I need to do for me, I am no good to anybody else.
None.
And that's just period. And yeah, over time, we had to have those discussions plenty of times. But I mean,
Mm.
but you ain't have to do that.
But no, I'm okay with it because I'm the kind of friend that I'm gonna tell you until you
Yeah,
see.
no, but you already know that that's the only friends I rock with. Like I don't rock with. Oh yeah, we all cool. Like yeah,
Right.
yeah. Because even if I'm wrong, I need the first one to be like, nah. I'm
Mm-mm.
I'm a I ain't gonna say nothing.
Right.
You wrong. Like
Right.
I ain't gonna
You'll just
interject.
hear a pause and it'll be like, I'm about to go there, right? Cap.
Right.
Well, yeah. Hold on for a second because no. And then that's where it just goes.
Right. And it goes all the way from there. But yeah, definitely. So okay. We're gonna
All right, real
pivot
mama.
back to politics.
Yes.
Real quick. Okay, so Joe Biden is looking for a candidate to pick for his 2020 presidential run. Of course, because Bernie Sanders has stepped down, he is now the front runner, pretty much.
Mm.
So he is hunting around for a running mate. And he says that he would pick Michelle Obama in a heartbeat. Michelle Obama has said tons of times that she only got slightly involved or involved in politics as she did because she loved her husband, but she hates or dislikes, I won't say hates, but dislikes politics and the games that they play. That's not her thing. She's more of an academic on that side. Um, Stacey Abrams has said that she's down if he, picks up the phone and gives her the call, that she is on board. Elizabeth Warren and others. So I'm just asking, like, who do you think or who would you like to see? That would be interesting.
You know, I'm I really just don't know right now because I'm in a state of confusion because I feel like we're not in a position to make um choices. And I feel like I'm talking to myself because he has me on mute or has us on mute. How do you guys feel
First of
about that?
all, I'm listening. Thank you, Teacher
Okay.
Albert.
So um with we we need to get some of this stuff dealing with COVID out of the way because I feel like all of this stuff is, and maybe it's just me, but I feel like all of this stuff is meshing together, and I think that's probably part of the hope that all of this stuff is going to cloud our vision and cause us to make impromptu decisions that may
And
not
just keep
be.
him, yeah.
Yeah,
But that's why he keeps saying, listen, that's why he keeps saying he's a wartime president because people have told him, and he knows, although he's not politically savvy, certain parts he is. Usually wartime presidents automatically win re-election. However, there's only been a few times where a wartime president did not win re-election, and I'll just go closest to what everybody can recall or remember. Um, George H.W. Bush,
hmm,
George Bush Sr. did not win re-election after the Gulf War, only because the Republicans were pushing the um, what we now know as the criminal justice system reform thing, but basically harsher laws for small drug offenders, any kind of drug or anything that involves mostly black and brown people that get into situations of drug dealing and all that kind of nature. So he promised them that he would be on board for it. They ushered him into the White House. I mean, granted, he was popular among Democrats, especially African American Democrats, when he played his saxophone on the Apollo the Arsenio Hall show. That took him over the hill with black folks. Oh, it's the first black white president we've had.
right,
But as far as Republicans who were not seeing it for a Democrat being in the White House,
right.
it happened when he agreed to do the crime bill. And once they got his okay on that, it was smooth sailing. So he won the White House and then he signed the crime bill. And of course, as we know, history, Hillary saying that um, people of color or children of color at that time were some kind of super human criminals or whatever she said, which of course elevated it to a different level. Um, but that's how people believed it. I mean, we're not even going to talk about them, but even Al Sharpton was all for it. And other black leaders were on board with this um, because of the nature of what was going on at the time.
Yeah, Something about Al Sharpton has just changed ever since he lost that weight. I feel like he lost his.
No, not. I mean, being from New York, Al Sharpton was always Al Sharpton. Whatever was popular or whatever would give you camera time, Al Sharpton was right in here, like, "Hello, hi, yeah, me."
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, Miss T.
He's
Hey,
always,
reasoning is
"Hey,
key.
Miss T. Oh my gosh, Steve Vilsasi, how you doing? Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you." And hey, reason is key. You're my girl. Always shouting me out when she see me in chat. So thank you.
But I don't feel like I think that now is the time when we go to making decisions, electoral decisions, and even life decisions. We need to really take a time to sit and think because we are emotional beings
Yeah,
based upon what's going on in the world, and we're hyperactive. Our emotions are
right,
hyperactive, and sometimes like I gotta make who's telling me what I want to
right,
hear right now,
right,
and it sounds good right now because you don't feel safe. And sometimes it's just kind of like finding somebody and making you first meet them, they make you feel good, they make you feel safe, and then 6 months later, you're like, "Who are you?" You need to
What?
keep in mind that politicians can also do that to you.
Right. What's your question, Miss T? I know you said real quick. Did you have a question? I know you're at work, so if you have a question, just pop it in the chat and we'll answer it when it comes up and I see it. Um, I,
Yeah.
as
Hey,
far as
Lindsay,
all that
welcome.
is concerned, hey, Linty. As far as all that is concerned, I would like to say that I hope, my sincere hope is that we do not let these tax refund checks go to your head and think that he is the one orchestrating all of this, because he's not. Um, we can look at this crisis, and if you want to look at this crisis, look at the numbers. Every other country in the world is lower than we are right now at the death toll, as
Mm-hmm.
well as the confirmed cases.
Mm-hmm.
Now, personally, what I think, and this is personally captivating Christian, I think we've all been in contact or had some kind of coronavirus, maybe years back, months back, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It just hasn't been tested. Okay.
Right.
Um, to actually open and let things go as normal because you're scared about how it looks, because the longer this goes, the more you see how he did not prepare the country for this. um he doesn't want you to see that, so he'd rather let more people die, because that's what's going to happen, because if
Mm-hmm.
everybody's not tested, we don't know who's
Right.
has
Who's who?
does not.
Hiding behind the mask.
Right, exactly. So now what is happening? The only thing I can say about this Republican mayor that Maryland has is he has went to um I think it was North or South Korea, one of them. I've just one of them that I can't think of right now. But he's gotten testing material from them
Mm. Right.
to,
I was gonna say that.
yeah, to help test people in Maryland, period, regardless, whatever, wherever you work, it is for you to get tested to know who has it and who does not before he even lifts the ability for people to be walking free without going to essential places like the grocery store, which I think is a smart move, which I wish all the states would, Republican or Democrat, the governors need to do. Do not release this thing that he just wants to release because he wants to make it seem like, oh, look, everything's fine. At this point, they're willing to sacrifice who they need to. And if they're not concerned about their vote, they don't care. Now,
Mm-hmm.
statistically, they already know that it will affect us,
Right.
period.
Right.
So if you can hold that in the back of your thought, those of us of color, you already know that they don't care if it hits us and wipes us out. Because why? Will you be voting if it wipes you out? I'll wait. I'm just saying. Will you
Let's
be
be
voting
real.
if it wipes you out? I'll
Let's
wait
be real.
because you won't.
Let's be real.
You won't.
And
So if I let it go and if I let it just sweep over everybody, then I know it attacks brown and black communities more so than it attacks mine. Why wouldn't I just let it roam
right.
free?
And let's be clear that Cap isn't being biased in what he's saying. The facts have proven that this
I
is
mean, I don't know
affecting
Trump. Let's be very clear. But I just, I'm not being biased as far as
by
Republican and Democrat. I
right,
do parties. Yeah.
right.
I'll
He's
just,
not right, but he's not being biased in what he's. If you just let me talk, no, I'm joking. He's not being biased in projecting things of people of color and how it's affecting us. Look at the news. It's telling you who this virus is affecting the most. And if the governor of Maryland is saying it, I gather that the governors of other states are saying it as well about wearing a mask. So if you wear a mask, it's a false sense of security. I'm not telling you, do what you feel comfortable at this point, but you have to, if you're taking that mask and you're out in public and you're wearing it, and then you bring that mask home,
brain.
where do germs live at? Research how long they live on the surface. I think Cat posted it on his
Community.
community wall
Mm-hmm.
with the how long it lives on cardboard, stainless steel, etc. So when you're in a store and you're in an aisle, respect
Ooh,
people's spaces
we talk about a store.
6 feet apart. Just because you have on a mat,
Can I say something? I was just
sure,
at Walmart a couple days ago, and I was about to freak out. I mean, it was so bad I started sweating because I got nervous because people were so close in the self checkout. And this is just
yeah,
story time, real quick story time.
yeah,
So
no, it's
I'm
cool,
in the lane, and I'm like, okay, social distancing, and I'm just like, okay, my turn. I'm waiting for the thing to go. Okay, you can go. The thing is open.
right.
I go and like 3, 4 people, and then even when I was in the aisles, and at some stores I've been in, they were good. They were like, "Yo, nope, nope, you gotta wait, let the person go, then you can go." Because there were people like almost in the aisles, kind of like orchestrating traffic. But this store, not so much. I ain't gonna mention it, but y'all already know where it is because it's the most popular thing everybody flocked to. It was so crazy. Yeah, I was like this on the phone. I had my mask on, like, what do you want? What do you need? Like, I'm okay, and I'm out. I could not. You wouldn't know that there was a pandemic happening just
Because
out.
people don't care.
But they
So
go ahead. I'm gonna let you
so
finish.
that's why I'm saying keep the space. That mask, I don't care if the governor is saying wear it to protect it. That mask is not protecting you, not your children, not your family. Nobody is that mask protecting.
If
It
they
is
don't know
not
who got it.
protecting you. It is they're just trying to keep people from spreading stuff, and they have to do something. And in my opinion, as the governor, this is what it is the platform on which he stands because it makes him look like he's doing something to help aid the state and the affairs that are going on. But I'm telling you that that mask is not doing anything. So if you have on a mask and you come near me, my guard is up because you are a threat. And as a healthcare professional, I'm automatically trained to think that because you have on a mask that you have something. That's number one.
That part.
Number number two,
Hey,
if everybody has on masks, hey NQs,
chocolate.
Capricorn,
Yeah, sorry.
yeah, um,
Light is all in my face. But go ahead.
all of these things. So respect people's space. But
Please.
they have on the mask. It's not because you need to do what the governor says or whatever governor you have in your state says. It's for your own good. Stay away from people. Treat everyone like they have something you could catch from looking at them.
Mhm.
That's all you need to do because you have to keep in mind that when you come home, whatever you catch is going home with you. If you don't go home and change your clothes, it's coming home with you. Those gloves, what?
Time out. I went home when I got home from Walmart. I took my clothes off and I got in the shower. I couldn't take it. Yeah, I couldn't take it. I felt so dirty. I just
Right.
felt so
Yeah.
dirty.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, yo, I'm not going outside unless I need something. And I
Yeah.
was trying to be like, okay, I'll go. Because you don't want other people or especially other people out or whatever. So I tried to get everything everybody needed, but it was just like so
But you gotta be
crazy.
careful with that too,
I was
because
just like, yo, this is crazy. Not that I felt like, but to watch people not paying attention to the basic stuff. You know what I'm saying?
they
Just
don't
because
care.
they are like, oh, well, he's my president and I want to make sure. So they just walk around
It's
like,
not that. You put $1,200 in somebody's pocket that's not used to having $1,200, and it's gold. So it's like, you know, I'm gonna go out here. I got $1,200. Just
yo, this lady, and she wasn't one of us, she was another. She had a whole TV. Like, come on. I get it. Because at the end
no,
of the
I don't get it. I'm not
no,
gonna
no,
get
no,
it.
no, no. I'm saying it's a store.
Right.
So they're lowering prices on TVs, anything, because they know people are gonna be in there. So
Right.
it's all about a business thing. And that's why a lot of these CEOs started, walking out of their post right now. Like as this is happening, a lot of CEOs are like, "Oh, bye, bye, bye,"
Right.
because you're gonna find out that a lot of it was like, "Pandemic coming. Oh, let it come so we can get all this money and shoot our revenue up." And then I'm gonna tip on out like, I didn't know nothing about the pandemic coming. Who said? Oh my
Right.
lord!
Right. So let me go back. You Lynn no, Patty Duke said something. The comments are popping tonight and I appreciate it. But so Patty Duke, I agree with you. If the store is too crowded, I leave. In fact, I don't even get out of the car. I evaluate the people swarming in and I do not get out of the car. Um I'm going to need for all of us to be ready, all the job opens, promotion when this thing is done. I don't know about that, Nate. I don't know if that's going to be factual because people are selfish. So people, I don't know about this. That we're gonna leave. We're gonna hold that on for a later date because I don't know.
Well, understand that a lot of people will not have their jobs coming back,
Yeah, yeah, and
and that's just facts. So it is going to be something like you need to pay attention to because a lot of people will not have their jobs when we start to roll back into this,
yeah,
um, because of many reasons. One, basically money,
right,
because the company, whomever, whatever the person works for, has lost a lot of money, and they're not going to be able to pay you,
right,
at
right,
your regular what you call it. So they're going to be laying off a lot of people. So this unemployment rate, and that's the reason why this president is in a rush to push people back out because this unemployment, you know how deep it's gotten.
right, right.
This has wiped away decades of progress.
Yeah,
It's nothing to play with. Like people think, oh, it's not this. No, this is very serious. We are now in moments where in which it's looking like another thing or another, something or market crash could send this whole thing tanking. And he's
hmm
scared. So he's quickly trying to, as he does, sweep it up, cover it up so you don't see it and you think, oh, everything's glorious. Because of course his people will rock with him regardless.
right,
They're living in shacks, some of them.
right,
Um,
right. What's up, King Payne?
and they will still sit here and be like, hey, oh, we good. Hey, what's up, King Payne? What's going on?
But yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
crazy.
know, and I understand that the $1,200 is for the sake of trying to fulfill people's needs, but when your rent or your mortgage is at a certain level,
What happens next
like
month?
Nate just said, exactly, like Nate just said, $1,200 is nothing, and that people,
In
oh, you being cocky. No, I'm not. when your rent or your mortgage is equal to or just right at, it's nothing.
It's nothing. It's enough for the month. It's enough for the month.
Right.
What happens next month? Well, that's
Exactly.
why I mean, granted, Congress is shooting for this $2,000 a month thing. However, there has been a city, and I wish I would have looked it up because I meant to, but I totally forgot. But there has been a city that does something similar to where in which they give $1,000 a month for a year to low income families or whatever, to help them push them along to where in which they are able to spend more time with their family, do other stuff, get another job and have extra money and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just like, at this point, with all these people unemployed, because the unemployment level, I don't, whatever they say, numbers, it's not that big. It's huge. A lot more people are unemployed and will be unemployed after this than they're even trying to show you, because again, know this president. He is a man of numbers. He is a man of what it looks like on TV. So
Right.
he's not going to tell you,
Right.
oh, hey, we looking bad right now, because
Right.
that's bad image on him.
Right.
So he's not going to play. That's why he's pushing to get people out there, because at
Right.
the end of the day, his whole motive was, because he even asked the dude in charge, the scientific Anthony Fauci, I think his name is. He asked them, "Hey, how about we just let it, happen, and find out who becomes immune to the disease and who doesn't, and just then people will gain immunity by infection."
Right.
And dude looked at him like, "What? No. You would kill a lot of people." And
Right.
me just thinking that, like, oh, this nigga's crazy. But
Oh.
I have to understand how, and I don't like using that word, but you have to understand how some people think. As long as it doesn't affect them or they don't have to do it, they
Right.
don't look at it.
Right.
The same thing when people go, "Oh, why?" Republicans are always quick to go to war. Think about it. They're not, they don't see their daughters and sons going to war. They see your daughters and sons going to war. Why? Because you are at the lower spectrum, where in which you would do that for the benefit of touring, uh, gaining extra funds from the GI Bill, all that stuff. So they've never looked at it as in, what you mean my son would have to go, my daughter would have to go.
Right.
However, on the Democratic side, it's more looked at that way, because it's like, yeah, I may be a politician, but my nephew, my nephew's not far removed. My
Right.
sister or brother is not far removed. So, and they're in the military. So if I shoot this order, they will go. They
Right.
will have to go.
Right.
It just is. It is what it is. But I just think it's real crazy. But
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I agree with that. Everything is about
Hey,
now.
Donna,
Hey, Auntie Donna.
my auntie in my head.
I was waiting for you to say something. You know, and with that being said, this situation is creating a lot of I wish I had. I wish I was like other people within certain people, and I want to encourage people to learn to wait your turn, because when it's your turn, when it's your time,
As
you
for
you don't have to say anything, you don't have to do anything, you don't have to announce it.
what
It is
God
just
has for you
your
is
time,
for you. Yeah.
and you have to just rest in that. We all have our ups, we all have our downs, but you have to just wait your turn and wait your time,
Mm-hmm.
and to not covet what other people want. You sitting over here lusting over this person's Toyota Camry, and the Alexis might be your future. You know
Yes.
what I mean? So don't, hmm?
Yeah, I say, yeah. And I, yeah,
So
don't
don't
do it. Yes, please.
covet what other people want. And I'm not even speaking biblically, I'm speaking reality. Do
Right,
not want what other people want because you don't know what they had to go through to get the little bit of what they had,
right.
you
And
know, and
you
what
don't
they
know what's
had.
in store for you.
Exactly.
Just straight up, you don't know what's in store for you. You sitting up here lusting over somebody's Toyota Camry, and you got a Mercedes Benz waiting for you, but you too busy lusting over that. So,
And
oh,
you
it
know
looks
what
so
you're
nice.
gonna do?
You're
You're
gonna
going
wind up
to
getting that Toyota Camry, and not like
Toyota Camry. Yep.
yeah,
Because you wanted it so bad that
right,
you couldn't see beyond it. So now you're stuck with what you want. You're gonna get exactly what you want. Sometimes you'll get worse than what you want
right.
because you can't see beyond it. And just don't live for the moment, you know what I mean? Like whatever you're feeling right now, whatever you're going through, you have to work through it. You have to understand that it's not always about what we're experiencing right now. We go through some things to get through so that we can be okay on the other side. If you have kids, you're setting the example. So that struggle that you're dealing with, they're going to remember that mom or dad once went through this when they turned a certain age and they hit it. You know what? My mother or my father survived this.
I'll tell you something.
Mhm.
If you have kids, please get insurance. Please do that. That is something that a community of color we don't really focus on. But make sure you leave something for your kids.
Not even if that you should do, but
But
make sure you don't leave debt
the
on
debt,
your kids.
yeah, that's mainly what I mean. Like, don't leave debt for your kids.
Yeah,
Don't
because they
leave.
don't have to take it. They don't even have to sign the papers to acknowledge your body. And I know that sounds morbid, but I'm
No,
being
it's really
called
true.
the
New
pauper's
York has
grave.
a whole place, the whole grave site that they're actually putting the bodies in for COVID-19. And right now, okay, that if you don't have money, insurance, whatever, and nobody comes to claim you, they will bury you with a number.
Yeah. But
Your
that
name
that
and
is
a number.
that's true, but it's true also outside of COVID-19.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying that for visual
Yeah,
purposes,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but on
You
news.
know, we we have a responsibility to be adults so that
1 second.
children okay. We have a responsibility to be adults so that children can be children. You know, if it had not been for my grandmother being who she was in my life, I may not be who's sitting before you today. You know what I mean? So you want to pass on generational wealth, and wealth isn't always in the form of money. It's in the form of knowledge. It's in the form of ambition. It's in the form of I saw my mom, my father do this, so I can do it. I actually got into healthcare not knowing that I became interested in it because my grandmother was so far deep into healthcare and she worked in it and she retired from it. So, we really have to take the time to worry about not just us. We have to worry about the people around us, our nieces, our nephews, our cousins, our peers, the people who are younger than us, because we can be example to so many people that are just looking at us. It's always watching. Somebody's always watching. I learned a lot of what I know from watching. I learned how to cook from watching. I learned how to drive a stick shift from watching. I learned a lot of things just from watching. So when you think nobody's watching and you think your kids or your nieces or nephews or people younger than you can't hear that conversation that you're talking about in the bedroom talking to your girlfriend or fussing and cussing at your boyfriend or your husband, they hear that stuff. And how it affects them is going to be different, but it leaves something with them that you have no knowledge of that it's going to do. I can say, for example, that my mother doesn't realize that I still remember some of the things that were said and that were done. The level of which it resonated with me is personal, but
Mm,
I still remember those things. So you have to be mindful of the environment that you're setting for your children and for the people who you may be taking care of, or even if it's for a weekend, because they remember that stuff. You
yeah.
know.
And as I was listening to you, a memory came to mind, thinking about my own mother,
Hmm.
when she raised me, and people were like, "Oh, A man. She raised a child, a man that she wanted to see in the world. So for all the single parents or the ones that, you have somebody, but they don't really take that fatherly role and you kind of still run the household, raise the man that you want to see in the world. Don't
Not the
get caught
baller.
up, right? Don't get caught up in people say, "Oh, you're a woman. You can't really show a man how to be a man." You can show that man what you want, what you expect to see, and train him on doing that. And when he shows up and when he grows up, he will be that man.
Look at both of us. I'm pointing. Well, look at. I can't get the.
It's you pointing this way. I'm pointing at you.
Look at both of
Right.
us. Look
Right.
at both of us. We
Right.
were both raised practically by women.
Yeah.
Male influence to an
Right.
extent,
Right.
but
Yeah.
raised
But definitely
by
strong women. Yeah. Strong women that did not, didn't take no shit. Like my aunts and the rest of my family will tell you if I speak or if I'm like, blah, 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 you sound like your mother. That's because she raised me that way. I don't know no other way to be. So when people are like, oh, you're so nice, meek and mild, it's like, this is YouTube. Like, this is not
right,
real life.
right,
But if
right.
you came into contact with me where in which we were doing a project or doing something, you'd be like, oh, hey, he's bossy. Yeah, because I don't, no, no, no.
Yeah, it's a
You
different ball game.
Yeah, if you don't do it, I'm gonna do it. Move aside, excuse me, and
Yeah,
keep it moving.
with
But
the elbow.
the whole move, with the whole ludicrous, get out the way. Um,
Right,
but that's just how I was raised. I didn't feel like I was being, more feminine because my mother wasn't even that type. She wasn't even that type of overly affectionate.
right. Same
Woman.
here.
Was just like if I went to go hug her and was like, "Mommy," she'd be like, "What you want?" So
Right, right,
it's like,
right,
I don't want nothing. I just came to say hi.
right,
So
right. But I'll jump in on that real quick. Is that even if you're not an affectionate person, kids know love when they see love.
right, right.
They know how to recognize it. It will take them somewhere else. And you teach your kids how to love in their relationships by how you love them and what to accept by how you love them. So for the single parents that are out here struggling and don't know if they're doing it right, take a step back. Love your kids from your pain. All the things that hurt you, love them from that way. You
Yeah,
know what
the pain and the hurt that you felt from a man, love them in that way to where in which they will never treat a woman that way. Like
I mean?
I've had all relationships on both gambits, and I've never, you know, done that because I
Right,
know what that felt like.
right, yeah,
And from a mother that never, I mean, I know some people, their mothers be like, "Oh no, you look like your father," blah, 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 and get that whole anger. I've never experienced that. If anything, she was just like, "Oh, yeah," and I'll be looking at her like, "Woman, are you crazy?"
yeah. Well, that is true, but I have experienced that. My mother
Right.
wouldn't even call me my first name because I'm named after my father. She gave me a nickname.
Thank God I wasn't. Jesus.
Oh, if it wasn't too much to go through, I would have changed my name a long time ago. Like as soon as I hit 18, I would have changed it. But it's not worth it because every time you fill out an application,
You gotta, yeah.
you gotta answer. Where did you ever go by another name? I don't want to answer for that.
Right, right.
So, but my mother disliked my father so much. But it's like you chose him.
Mhm.
You chose him. You married him. You did whatever else you did with him.
Right,
You chose him.
right. That was
And
just
he just changed. No, you didn't want to see who he was beforehand. You didn't take time to evaluate. I know what it feels like now, being the age that I am, to be young and in love.
right.
When I was younger in my 20s and I was all smitten, I couldn't I couldn't feel. I mean, I couldn't see. I just felt, and I went with what I felt. I mean, I wasn't stupid because I was raised by smart people,
Hmm.
but I felt. and you wanted to feel more of that good thing that somebody is giving you, but sometimes the very thing that you're reaching for is meant to teach you a lesson. It's not meant for you to stay there. So that
Right.
little tingly feeling you feel, it's just for a moment. You're
Fact.
supposed to learn. So you know what it feels, so you won't lust for it so long. You
Yeah.
know, I know people are still in their 40s still looking for that next new thing, that next tingly feeling.
Right.
That's not what life is about.
But that's just what I said like earlier. You have to sometimes go back to that person, that kid, because all that tingly feeling that you feeling in your 40s is that 13, 5, whatever, 10, whatever spot you was at, that's that person yearning for that affection, that gratification of love, or, oh, you love me, you like me. And you gotta catch that young person up to where you are right now.
hmm I still battle with that little boy in me
Mm.
because there are some things that the little boy never
Got to say, got to do. Hmm.
just and they don't die. You'll be 50. But the thing is just knowing who's in control,
Mm.
knowing how to speak to that little boy, that little girl,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and moving on,
And knowing that if you don't ever get to speak to the person that caused the hurt, that you are okay.
Right,
You are
right.
okay. And I had to learn this from an ex of mine because we were going back and forth in this discussion. That's when I started to um, talk to my biological father for the sake of my twin sister and my older sister, because it was like, okay, I'll take an L for the team, but I ain't gonna take but so many. So, know that I'm biting my tongue and literally blood would be pouring out of my mouth.
Mm.
And sitting on the phone, and just spewing down. Um, and you laughing because it's true. Uh,
Right.
but
I know what it feels like.
right, but at the same time, when it got to the point where I could not take it anymore, I had to really be like, oh no, we not. I cannot do this
Right,
anymore.
right,
Um, this is what it is. This is the only person that's been here and been there, and for them, I am grateful.
right, right,
And that's what. There's nothing I want from you. There's nothing you can do for me. If you want to have a dialogue with me, I am open to
right,
that.
right.
But there's terms because I'm grown, you're grown. I respect you as being elder. Other than that, that's as far as it goes.
Right, right. Hey, TC, no, you're not too late. Hold on, I gotta pause this for a minute because I gotta geek out on this one. Patty Duke said I was a love addict until my 40s. Patty Duke, you better get it. You better get it, Patty Duke. No, I'm just messing with you. But no, I know what that feels like. I'm not in my
Your
40s yet.
frankincense and myrrh. She always calls me her frankincense and myrrh.
But I know what that feels like. You have to know there's nothing wrong with it, but you have to know when to call it to an end.
Yeah.
Um, because a love addiction can lead you down to all the wrong roads. It can lead you down to too many kids with the wrong people. It can really lead you to a lot of places. And a lot of people talk about
And,
postpartum, but they don't realize how real postpartum is for a lot of women. And I
mm,
cannot speak from a place of a woman because obviously I'm not one. But
right.
I have seen it. I've seen it in some of my patients, and I
Mm,
know that it is real. And if you are feeling those things, I do encourage you to talk about it, you
right.
know, and know that that feeling is a emotional feeling because of the connection that you have and the changes that your body went through from giving birth to a child. And it's like, okay, now I gave birth, and what do I do? Now this life is here and I'm responsible. So postpartum looks different for everybody. But
Mhm,
again, I want to bring light to that because a lot of people take that for granted, what life looks like after being pregnant. What
mhm,
life what life looks like during pregnancy,
Hmm.
things that you go through when the father doesn't want the baby, when the
Hmm.
father doesn't want to be around after the baby is born. You know, when you're left to be a single mother, even though you didn't think it was going to go that way because maybe you just don't like the father anymore. You
Hmm.
know, so those are the things that we need to really pay attention to before we get into pregnancy. But if we cross that bridge already, to just realize that it's not the end of the world. Um, I come from a marriage that didn't work,
Hmm.
and I'm still a decent person.
Right.
Kat came from a marriage that didn't work, and mom got remarried, and that one did work, but it's still not the same because it's different
Yeah.
when you're bringing a
And you
new
know her, she was a general. Even still, she was still a warden.
person. Whew, listen, she was a lovely woman, but she was a tough cookie.
Yeah, there's no getting by her. Like none. Like no. And
She tough cookie.
the the issue I have is we were the only ones to go back and forth.
Yeah,
Everybody else kind of like my older brother, twin sister was kind of like, whatever you say, they always just was never like, why or no.
right,
I was always that one. So we always had the toughest, and I've said this before in plenty of my lives that granted, people are, oh, would you go back in time? I would not. But the most honorable moment that I had in my entire 30 some odd years of life was when that woman who always did what she wanted to do, whether it was about my life or my schooling or anything, was like, no, you're going here. You can go here. You could do this.
right.
Looked at me and was like, what do you think we should do? What do you think I should do? I was like, for a minute, I was like, what's she saying? And then I was like, okay, yeah, Ma, we should do this. And she,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. And Armand, well, first off, Patty Duke, I'm glad that
yes,
no kids came from it, but you know, you overcame that stage in your life, so that for that you should be thankful and don't it just was what it was. Don't harp on it, just you
yeah.
overcame came and let it go. You know what I mean? And
And
just
plus, I'm sure you've touched so many children,
yeah, I'm sure. I'm
with
sure because the ones
your
that
words
don't
of
have
wisdom,
kids are the ones
right,
that do the work.
right, with the words of wisdom or
Yeah,
just the moments that
yeah,
you are blessed beyond. So
yeah,
don't ever
yeah,
look like, it's because you didn't have any kids, but
yeah. Because
I'm
you can
sure you touched many kids because even just when you call in or we have,
yeah, you have a nurturing.
motherly spirit. Yeah.
Yeah, you have a bosom about you. Let's say that. You just have a bosom. So I'm sure that in your lifetime you have exuded that among other people.
Right.
And Armand,
Oh,
see,
no.
but his mother was a warden, so was my mother, but
Straight
they were
up.
different types of wardens. His mother was a instructional warden. My mother was a warden, like do it because I am the warden. So that's the best way I can describe, even though it's not quite accurate. But a warden can it's levels to being a warden.
It's a
Definitely
complete
levels to
belief,
being
Mr.
a
Culture.
warden. Antoinette said, "I've only been home for 3 days and I'm ready to be."
No, he asked you a question.
Oh, okay.
It's in the
Um, what's the best way to check on a person that is usually an introvert and due to stay at home, they may be more isolated? Hmm. Whew. Just to do it because I'm that kind of person. I'm not an introvert, but some people you have to know the person and how to check on them. The best way to do it, I would just say casual conversation. Just, hey, how are you? How's it been going? Strike up casual conversation, like, or if it's maybe if you know something that they like, maybe a new movie, maybe something that you have in common with them, strike up some normalcy with them so it
Mhm.
won't seem like you're checking in on them because people who are struggling with something don't like to be checked in on.
Right.
So don't make it seem that way. Just kind of be casual about it. And if that doesn't work, then shoot a text, say, hey, I'm so, find a common level. Like, we're stuck in the house. I'm so bored. What are you doing for fun? Find a way to connect that doesn't
Mhm.
seem like you're trying to connect because you feel like you need to connect.
Yeah,
Just
I
make it
w-
casual.
yeah,
Hmm?
I will add though that in this age of technology with the Zooms and the FaceTimes and all that, uh, if not use that uh,
Yeah, yeah,
to check on those, because this is a hard time for a lot of people. Me personally, being a cancer, I am fine with being inside.
yeah.
Home or being inside is like the best place ever. Everything else I have to talk myself into. Granted, I don't mind doing it, but if you said you had a choice, the choice would be stay your ass at home. So I'm just being real. So
See, I gotta have a happy medium. I'm okay with staying at home, but I like to be able to go out and do things. And how I survive working at home, I still don't know. It's because my mind was occupied. But when your mind isn't occupied, you become stagnant, and it feels like a state of shut in. We all deal with things differently. You know what I mean? So
mhm,
it's no right or wrong, but if staying at home doesn't bother you, then thumbs up. But keep in mind that not everyone's not like that. You know what I mean?
right.
So whereas I called to check in on Captain, he's like, "I'm fine." I'm like, "Oh, okay," but
Mhm.
I don't take for granted that you may not be fine. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like personalities, and some people play really well. They play like everything's all good, but they really want you to check on them.
I mean,
Um,
it's nice. I ain't gonna say
It's
that.
okay to use
It's
conversation, not right, exactly. Not interrogation because it seems like you're performing a duty versus you really caring.
right.
Yeah.
Working at home, or like working separate life. Yeah, working at home can take. Trust me, I know. Working at home
Yeah.
can get some getting used to in a sense,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you once you get in the rhythm, you get a little more freedom to
Yeah.
kind of be in your PJ, get
Yeah.
your coffee, and not be
Or
like,
or
"Oh,
maybe not being in your PJs, maybe performing a task, you don't have to get dressed to the nines, but maybe
right,
getting up and taking a shower
right,
and
right."
doing the normal duty because I had to learn to do that. Like,
Do
and then when you get off, you normally would typically most of us come home and take a shower. When you
mhm,
clock out and shut that computer down, take a shower,
right.
go out, start your day, break it up. If you live in an apartment, go out and have lunch on your balcony. If you have a
Mhm,
home, go out on the porch, still be live amongst normalcy, bring normalcy into something that may be abnormal to you.
mhm,
It takes practice because you still feel like, okay, I wake up at home, I work at home, I go to bed at home, I wake up at home again. Just think about the convenience of it. Think about what it's saving you. Think about the fact that you still have your job and you're able to do it from home. You know,
right.
yeah,
Bless. No, I said, thank God, blessing,
yeah, or even if it's a home thing is permanent for you, think about the money you're saving. Count your
blessing.
your
Yeah.
blessings and how fortunate you are in it. And I know it's taxing because they used to drive me
Even though
insane.
gas is dirt cheap, we ain't gonna talk
Oh,
about
it is really it is really dirt
that.
cheap. It is so
I
cheap,
haven't seen
but
it
I
that.
don't need it.
Yeah, I
So
know,
being cheap
but
doesn't make any
that's
difference.
the part that's killer though. The
Right.
fact that you
But
need
that's
it,
why it's cheap because the demand is low, so they
yeah,
don't care.
you don't care, right?
Not with my needy staff. They need to see your face.
It's a game. Yes, that's right. Cancer all day.
Yeah, hey game. Yeah, Lindsay, and I know, but sometimes we just need to hear from other people. We need that light bulb to go off because we get tired, we get stuck, we get stubborn, we get annoyed. You know what I mean? What?
No,
Ain't
I'm not
nobody
talking
call.
about me.
You
Talking about
know,
booty
booty
call.
call. If you can pull it off, I'll say why not.
Well, no, because because unless I know you are cool, which I ain't been around too many people. Nah, nah, nah.
I'm just saying, not a booty call, but somebody that you know that might be willing to give up the booty.
No, that's what not. that's coronavirus clip. You don't know that, but that's what I'm saying.
You,
That brings
you know, you don't know, but
no. I'm good. Don't worry about
listen, let's don't mind him over there. All right, because the fact of the matter is to not deny your needs that you have, even though
it. They got
the virus is.
they got articles talking about don't have sex during COVID-19.
It's an article that's going to negate everything.
I
You
know.
have to do what you feel safe with, and you have to know the person. And if not, there are you can use the internet. Let's say that. I'm just gonna leave that there. You can
Pornhub, yes.
fulfill your fantasies on the internet. That's the safest way. You can't catch anything from your hand as long as you wash them for 20 seconds.
Not bleach it.
Oh.
No, bleach it. That might mess for on my end. That might mess up somebody's insides. I don't want to be responsible. I'm just
you
saying
know, um,
because
that is not going to
you know
help.
I'm hypochondriac. That's not gonna help me because I'll be like,
And
okay.
then he'll be looking like Michael Jackson down there.
I, they already say I sound like him, let alone be looking like him.
Let me shut my mouth. I was going to say something.
No, you can say
Because if somebody come for me, it's over.
goddamn Michael Jackson, but it's okay. I'm sorry that I was not born with the most baritone of voices, but at the end of the day, I'm still a man. Okay.
Right.
And I'm not putting this on for entertainment or to make you think I'm like a kid. It is what it is. Me
Yeah.
personally, I grew into it. I didn't like it at first, but it's kind of like raspy, smooth, and sexy. And if you don't like it,
Yeah, until you piss him off, and then the tiger comes
right.
out, and then the voice changes, and then so
All that comes out.
so don't be fooled by Mr. Captivating. Don't be fooled. But no, all jokes aside, we you have to keep in mind that he didn't select his voice. Nobody that lives selected anything about themselves unless they either had a sex change, unless they had a.
I don't get that, but I really don't get that. Like you, some people act as if like some everybody came out like, oh, I want to talk like this. It's like, yo,
Oh, you just
never, right. I've always this is nothing that has changed. I was a kid and people be like, hey, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh no, mommy here, phone for you.
talk.
You know, so it's never been a
Yeah, but
which I
to
had.
me, your voice doesn't sound like that. But see, again, people want to
It's
take stuff
always
and they
pick. Yeah, it's like I want to pick until I get to your
until they, yeah.
like,
But you,
yeah,
you have to understand, and I think that I can speak for us both, and I'll say it because on this note, I don't care. We don't exist to please people. We're not people pleasers. We're nice to people. We are
respectful, but
respectful,
yeah,
but to cater to you is just unheard of. Especially if we're not getting anything in return. And you can take that how you want,
to
but
the bank.
and cash it. If you have that $1,200 and you're willing to give it, we'll
It
take
will clear. It will clear.
it.
It will clear.
But
I've never been.
it
I
just it's not good to
I don't.
please people. And even
You
though
can't
we're
please
laughing and we're
everybody.
joking,
You can't
say it
please
again.
because you can't please everybody.
You
So
can't please
the
everybody.
quicker
You
you
could,
know that and you get that in your head, the easier everything else will be.
yeah, yeah.
You probably that's
Something having said that, something I want to say is, you know, dealing with things from Cap and I had this discussion earlier, dealing with things from a place of stature. So
mm,
dealing with things that you're going through or that you're experiencing or whatever's coming at you from a place of stature. So if you know who you are and that you've grown from who you used to be, don't deal with things in the way that you used to deal with them. Deal with them from the place of stature. Choose it's like choosing the high road. Like this is where I'm at right now. Like I have a lot of different things in my closet that I could bring out, but who I've grown into has allowed me to embark on what you see right now.
Mhm.
So I'm dealing with the things that we're talking about with a place from a place of stature. Like I don't need to call out names. I don't need to mention things and say people. I don't need to attack people because I'm dealing with things from a place of stature. So
Mhm.
deal with the issues in your life, the depression. You know, the stature is I'll get through this versus the younger person you haven't seen so much, so you don't know what it's gonna look like. But you can say that because you reached 30, 40, or 50, that your future looks bright. So deal with it from that place of stature of which you have grown and the things that you have learned, and try your best not to deal with the things from a place of fear, from a place of doubt, from a place of hopelessness, from a place of unsurety, even though doubt and not being sure may seem the same, but it's kind
Mhm.
of
It's
different depending
different.
on where you are.
Right.
So deal with things from a place of stature. Don't go back and don't allow your life, your situations, or people to take you backwards. Stay where you are in your stature and look to grow further versus going back to that little person inside of you that just wants to give in and give up the fight because giving up the fight will not get you anywhere. It's the fight that gets you where you need to be.
How about it?
So I just want to encourage people with that because the fight is not in vain. You know, you
Definitely.
gotta keep it going, keep it fighting.
Definitely. And at this last hour and 16 minutes that we have been on, I will say this without naming names or things of that nature. But we as a people need to get to a place where that inward is non existent for us. That's all I'm going to say. Because I think it's highly disgusting that we will let anybody use those words to us. And I don't care if you choose to, um, or if it's in line with who you are against. If that was the case, like when people say to me all the time, oh, I use it and I like it, or it's a word of endearment or power, um, I say this to those same people. Okay, cool. Dig up those people who died from that word and let them tell you it's okay, or they feel empowered and they will go back and lay in their graves because of the words you use. We need to cut it. Find another word.
And it takes practice.
Yeah, it does. It's not gonna happen overnight. And I'm just saying that it's not gonna happen overnight. And trust me, I know it's not gonna happen overnight. But the problem I have when I see my people, and again, I'm not naming no names because I learned my lesson with that. Because I ain't name no names in that either, but people, whatever.
That's
So uh, all
Ooh.
I'm saying is, listen, we do not ever need to get to a place where I want to get you so bad that I will side with someone who will freely call you out of your name. Because if you can't do it yourself, honey, you know what that means? And I'll look at you. You don't need to do it. You don't need to do it.
Yep.
Keep it where it is. Face, physical, all that. Keep it where it is. This whole thing, because all this is, we got it coming from the top. You don't understand. People don't understand. Like I deal in politics, and granted, it's not the most fan favorite, but whatever. It's coming from the top. There's no other place for that to come from to get the green light that it's okay to call you an N word or call you whatever than from the president of the United States. So whether you want to believe it or not, that's where it comes from. And they take their cues and they're okay with it. And if we allow other people to call us that, that's a huge problem. But if we get to a place where we have been comfortably, and I've heard people say that we call each other that and then they can use that against us, yo, we need to back up
Right.
and say, hey, what are we doing? Because
Right.
we come from places where we created math, we created science, we
Right.
created all these things. So, what, excuse me, but what the fuck are we doing?
Right.
Because I didn't come to downgrade myself.
Right. Right.
People
And
have
that's what anyway.
constantly, right. People have constantly told me, especially them, oh, he's high maintenance. You're damn right I'm high maintenance because I come from a line of royalty. I don't come from squander. That's where you come from.
Right.
And
Right.
that's what I'm gonna say on that. I'm not gonna say anything else, but it is disgusting. It is truly disgusting that we as a people will sit and go after someone just because we hate them so much. Do that on your own. You don't need that person's help. You don't need that person's help. If you hate that woman so much that looks like you, do it on your own. And I don't care. Your
Mm.
subscribers can leave. You know, you could talk about me, whatever it is. I'm used to it. Trust and believe. And I'll be honest with you and say it at this point, not that many people will leave. Okay, hint hint. But if you can do that, do it on your own.
I'm
You
sorry.
don't need that person's help to do that because that's disgusting. We
Right.
come from kings and queens. You don't need to lower yourself to use that person to do that.
Right. Right.
Granted, what she does is just as vile and just as disgusting because
Right.
it is.
Right. Right.
And I'm not defending that because it is just as disgusting.
Right.
But
Right.
do what they do. They don't attack their own. Okay?
Right. Right.
They
Yeah.
don't attack their own
Yeah.
when it comes to situations where in which it involves pulling over and all that stuff. That's what I mean. They don't attack their own.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So have that mindset. If
Yeah.
you're gonna attack, you attack your own
Right.
and just leave it at that. Do not include or ask for anybody's help that is
Right.
different from you. Because
Right.
at the end of the day, they're glorifying in this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. You
And
know, I laughed
I'm
a
done.
little bit because TC said, "Oh, I hear the baritone now." That's why I was like, "Oop."
Yeah, yeah.
I
'Cause
read it and I couldn't.
you were lucky you ain't hear the New York fully come out. But
Right.
that it was so bothering me, and I was just like, I've learned from a content creator that we are no longer, yeah, whatever. But it's like, do it on your own platform. So okay, I'll do it on my own platform. I mean,
Yeah.
not, if it makes a difference, I'll be happy for it. If it
But
doesn't, whatever. But
what I don't understand the most of is that people call themselves doxing people, and you're exposing how this person earns or receives their money,
yo,
how
yo,
they do this and how they do that,
yo,
and you
yo,
constantly,
yo, 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 yo.
no, you gotta let me finish. What?
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 No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'll let you finish. I'm really sorry.
go
But
ahead.
that shit irks me because what does it matter?
It
What does it
doesn't
matter? Like you're on YouTube. The fuck? Like, why are we sitting here concerned about what somebody makes? Who their family members are? They don't know nothing about fucking YouTube.
at all. But y'all sitting up here, going out here and getting on here, and I haven't even watched it. This is just listen. I've gotten to the point where it is so much negativity that I don't even watch a lot of the people that I subscribe to because I refuse to get doused in the BS that you guys are presenting, thinking that you're doing something. And as a subscriber, you have a responsibility to check that, to get it together, and not sit there and watch it. Don't go over there and indulge and douse yourself in the stuff that people are doing to other people because you are guilty. And you know accessories go to jail. So you need to be mindful of that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying it, but I'm not saying it because I care about who did it. It's about the simple fact that it could be you.
Yeah,
It could be your
that's what I'm
family,
saying.
anybody.
That,
These people,
that's just like, I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
um,
No, go ahead.
these people are human, so if they get on here and they somebody that you don't like, or they have a demeanor or whatever they have in them that you just don't like, that's fine. There's some people on YouTube that I don't care to listen to. I can't say I don't like them because I don't know them. But there's some people that I've seen do some foul things, but they would never know. Why? Because I have integrity. And this is about me. This is about who I am. What I think about you is not going to change you. So I'm not going to change what I do to try to make you change what you do. But just know I see you.
Yeah.
And just know that if the day ever comes and you mention my name, I got you.
I'm waiting, locked and loaded. But like I say about this, and this is just my personal view, when people call this the beef sector, let me tell you something. And let me be very extremely clear on this. When you type in anybody's name in YouTube, you don't get, oh, this is the beef sector. This is the beauty sector. Whoever name you type in is what you fucking get.
Exactly. I get so sick of hearing, oh,
It's
and this
so
happened,
irritating. It
this
is so
happened.
irritating because what you do when you say that to the others is make it like, oh, that's that word I don't like to use,
Mhm,
section. And that's
mhm,
what they like to do. No,
mhm.
we are so much greater than that. Please
Right,
stop downgrading our power, our ability, ourselves to that. If
right,
you like to just roast and gag, then just cool, keep it at that. You don't have
right,
to call it a sector. It is what it is.
right,
The
right,
people will find you.
right. Let me just say this. If look into people's eyes when they're sitting in front of this camera, and I know I got this hat on, so my eyes are a little dark, so you can't really see. But look into people's eyes, and when you look into their eyes, you can see a lot about them. You can see if they're evil, if they're pleasant, if they're at peace, if they're happy, if they're sad. You can see a lot about people in their eyes. Look at people's eyes, and I'm not gonna mention any names, but look at people's eyes when they're talking to you and how they're treating you. You can see it. Some people got this holier than thou. You can't. I'm sitting up on her because I'm this and I'm that, and I got all the plaques on the wall. You you'll never see any of my plaques on my wall because that doesn't define me. That is something that I earn. So if you pay attention to people's facial expressions, the way they treat other people, the only thing that's going to matter when you check out of this earth is your integrity, how you've lived, how you've treated people, and what people know you to be. That piece of paper is going to disintegrate.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
education is going to.
yeah. I no, because you said that, and that just made me instantly think of something my mother would say. It's a piece of paper. Nobody knows what date that says on that paper but you. What matters is what's in here. And I know a lot of people like to tote their things around like it's, like it means something. There's
And it
nothing,
is, it does,
there's
but
nothing on my walls.
no,
And I don't talk about
right,
what I have
right.
because again, and I'm not to get biblical, but it's true. Let the light that you have within you shine before men
Right.
that they may see your good works. You're not gonna see that if I'm talking BS, period. You're not gonna see what credentials I have behind me. But if I'm talking credentials, you'll see it
Right.
because you'll hear it
Right.
because it'll come from me.
Right. You can tell a lot about people. In fact, people before I got any degree, people thought I had it before I was even interested in getting a degree.
People already knew I was going that route
Right.
as a kid. You know what I'm saying? So it was like there was no question. Hey, thank you, Ro
Oh,
Underwood.
Underwood,
Thank you
appreciate it.
for the super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the super chat.
You
But
know what?
I yeah, I know, right? Um, that's just Kelly Love. I don't want nobody to come after me like I stole their thing. I'll give you your
It's
props.
a shame.
Um, right.
Shame.
But I say all that to say, please, let's not get into a place where we hold credentials higher than ourselves.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
every day we learn. So whether you have a high school education or a GED, please trust and believe your value to this world, to society, to your family is everything. Please don't lose sight of that. As long as you're learning and you're elevating yourself and you're reading and you're keeping yourself abreast to whatever it is that you either find interesting or you know or you yearn to know, kudos. My hat is off to you and I respect you to the utmost. Continue to do what you're doing.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
That's all I can say.
That's it. And that's all. And
Say it to the people in the back. Yes, Antoinette, I will say it to the people in the back because that's exactly what I mean. I don't want nobody to feel that as if you feel like you, because you haven't accomplished something else, that you are less than.
right.
No, we are all great, period.
Right. Yep.
I don't look at anybody less than what I've accomplished in my life because I've done a lot of things. I've done more things as a kid, okay, than I've done as a full grown ass man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just real talk. From
Right.
commercials to platforms to anything else. I've done all this shit before I even knew what it really was about. But
Right.
because my
Right.
mother was like, oh, okay, well, here you go. You're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. And I just started it as something to do. Like
Right.
if people thought I was something I had to say was uplifting, then I just did it.
Right.
I was in a prison before I knew really what a prison was.
Right.
And
Right.
that's no bull ABS bullshit.
Right.
Just so of course they won't probably
Yeah. No.
monetize me. But yeah, it's just it is what it is. Like really, seriously.
Yeah. And I've had someone say, "Oh, your name's MrCredentialed," so, and they question me about my credentials and
You know
what I
that
knew and where I've been, and
that
my
that
my
irks me.
name, huh?
Somebody, I said that irks me because somebody that I know off of YouTube was like, "Well, what credentials does he really have?" Because I have a friend that's a that has a doctorate, and I'm like, first of all, mental health is for everyone. Like, yeah, you could have a level of whatever degree you choose to have
Right.
in that sector, but you still won't have that connection.
Right.
And the
And
connection is what matters.
right.
Because I've been
Right.
in plenty of offices where we didn't have that connection. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry for
And I
you.
bet you the person who asked is their life is in shit.
I mean, it
And
is.
I don't even need to know who, because honestly, I don't know who, and I'm not interested. Because I don't. When I'm named myself Mr. Credential, if we're going to be clear, it's because it was savvy.
And the credentials that you walked across the stage to get.
Right. And but my credentials and the sound of my voice. I can't tell you how many people in my lifetime have told me who I was before I knew who I was and how great I was going to be before I knew that what greatness was. So when it comes down to my name is who I am. My name is what I'm about. My name is the platform on which I stand. And that's all I need to say. That's it. I'm helping people, and the people that I help are not. I'm not, because of confidentiality, I'm not going to tell you who I've helped, how many people I've helped in the emails or the text, or that's none of anybody's business. Don't question me, and I won't question you. But at the same time, if you need to question me, then you are being questioned.
All right.
So
Well, all right.
we often keep things to ourselves.
Yeah, we
So
do.
we
So
are so
this was a purging moment.
this is the annual purge.
Right. This was a purging moment because I just got so I was I visit a lot of people chats and people be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I do. I visit a lot of people's chats because granted, yeah, we do, not like enjoy the mess, but you listen to it.
I can
But,
tickle your
yeah,
fancy if you want.
right, right. And you take for me, I always take what I can and leave what I choose. So yeah, I've listened to it all. But that
I'm
part.
looking at what you're right. I'm sorry, I got lost.
Oh, you good. You good. You good. You good. No,
Antoinette Herrera said,
I know. I
Mr.
was
It still means the certified, credential, all the same thing.
yeah,
People say
but
credential, it's all
yeah,
good.
right. It's all good, definitely. But when that came upon me, and I don't even watch the other dude who said it, but just for the simple fact that it was said, and it was said by another, and no one checked it. As a history person of African American history, degreed in, get your life. Um, I I just a bit disgusted
Yeah,
that we have come to a place that I hate my sister, but I hate my sister enough to do that. Now you
right,
can hate your sister all day long, and
right,
I'm not stopping that. But I'm stopping that when you let another come in between that and escalate that. That's disgusting
right,
to me.
right,
And again, you could walk away because I'm cool with the Armand and the Nates and whoever comes to my midday lives
right,
because it's all about what's true and
right,
what's real and
right,
what's real news.
right.
Because this is BS. Just to be very clear, no disrespect to anybody, but it's BS. Because real news is real shit that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that live in by plants, power lines, and things of that nature in our communities that are dying, not just from COVID-19, but from waste and bioproducts and all these other things.
Mm-hmm.
That's real.
Yep. Does Flint even have clean water yet?
Who did you say?
Flint,
Flint?
Michigan. I know you know, but I just want to put it out there. Flint, Michigan. Do they have clean water? You talking about you don't have toilet
Still
paper? You
drinking
haven't had water
bottled.
before this.
Still drinking bottled water. So come on. Come on. What are we doing? What are we doing?
But then nobody's worried about that though.
No, because you worried about some, and sorry, but you worried about some itch who doxing is disgusting, but of course she chose to do it for whatever reason she chose to do it, which ain't right. Okay? But you feel you need to go to that to do that? That's ridiculous. Come on.
You know,
Come
and
on.
karma knows everyone's address. Let's be clear. And when you get your karma, it may not be in the eyes of other people. Nobody, you may be left by yourself to deal with what you get. I've
Yo,
seen it
yo,
happen.
yo, it's not, people always good for this return to be like instant or right then and there when hey, this thing could happen. Karma could happen 20, 30 years down the line.
Yep. Have a conversation with some people that's outside holding up a sign and ask them what happened to them. And I'm
Right,
not saying that it's karma, but you don't know.
right. Ask them what brought you to this place. A few of them will tell you they had everything.
Mm-hmm.
until this happened.
Yep.
I had all these things until this happened.
Yep.
I'm so I apologize to the chat, but that just got to me to a place where I just could not hold it, and I preferred to do it on my own platform, as I was told from a fellow content creator, than not to go on nobody else's platform and display my grievances to what they may have or may not have said. So I just felt like I needed to, okay, this is what I'm going to do on my platform. So if it's on me, it's
Yeah,
on me.
and you really haven't said anything, really. You really haven't said anything. I mean, in comparison to what people are listening to, used to listening to, you have not said anything. You haven't said a name. You have not said anything, really. You're just doing what you have the right to do, which is to express your opinion.
Yeah, but you know how people are.
And
They still take.
coming from a mental health perspective, it's important to express how you feel.
Well, I wish you was around. I wish you would have told them when the
No,
people.
I stopped talking to people who don't listen.
No, but I'm just saying because because all I did was the same thing I'm doing right now, but
Right.
it was taken differently. But anyway,
Well, that's because if you can't take what somebody's saying to you and what they're saying is the truth,
it's
it has
more
no bearing.
personal. It's more personal. Yeah.
Yeah, we
You just take that shot. Just drink it. Just drink it. Just take that shot. That's basically what it
we
is. Just take that
we
shot and go, and just just
we're
swallow it.
not even gonna talk about people again. Like I said, you can't fix people as much as we want to. If we could fix people, we wouldn't have a platform to speak on right now because everyone would be perfect. Everything would be right.
Yeah, and that's good, Armand. Like, yeah, I know, trust and believe, I do know some of us are woke and know what's going on. And it's not like you got to be woke to like hate the next, because really that's not what we're about. But I see you. That's
Right,
the woke that I want to um kind of send to people. I see you.
right,
I'm not hating you, but I see you. And that right there is a clear I see you.
right,
And we don't need to ever down or go that low to um disintegrate or even tear away
right,
somebody, because
right.
you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the whole slave trade to begin with.
Mm,
They were not strong enough, smart enough to go inland, and take us. No, they got the ones who, oh, the flashy ones. You see this? You could have it if you go inland and take some of your people and bring them out.
right, right.
That part, and I'm sorry, we're at like almost 2 hours, but I'm
It's
sorry.
whatever.
It tears me up.
Yeah,
That part disgusts me.
yeah, yeah,
That part disgusts me because they knew, them others knew that if they went inland to try and take us, they wouldn't have came out.
yeah, yeah.
And I've talked to Credential, we've talked about this before. If you know about all of your civil rights leaders, trust and believe they had to find somebody in the group to say, you know what? Oh, you want to offer me that? They had to find the Judas in the group to do what they did. Because if you stood by the person you believed in 100%, that would have never happened.
Right,
And then you look at, and I'm not, naming no names to put it on them, but if you look at Jesse Jackson's run for president, huh? Huh? Really? In the 80s? Okay. You look at other people, it's like, really, you did that for what? For your
right,
30 pieces of silver?
right.
Come on, yo. And
Yep,
again, I look at that. Your 30 pieces of silver, you did that for something you could have done yourself. For your 30 pieces of silver. Have a seat.
Hmm.
Hey, Nest No Mess, Miss Craig, how you doing?
Hey,
That's
hey, welcome anybody that came in through the
uh,
last few. Hmm?
well, I ain't see nobody but Nest No Mess, Miss Craig, aka Miss Craig. How you doing, girl?
Hold on a lighter note, Johnny Mac, and now I got this Mary Poppins stuck in my head. Said just a spoonful of medicine, full of medicine makes sugar. I'm sorry, makes the medicine go down. All I
Yeah,
can hear is the song is
yeah, just this.
yes, but
Johnny Mac, thank you for joining. Yeah, I know you sometimes watch from the clouds, and you or the balcony. Let me stop saying the clouds, the balcony at Cap Hill, and you don't really come down. But thank you so much for coming down. But that's really all I had to say. And I know it may get some flack, but I needed to get this. You don't know how heavily this was weighing
yeah,
on my chest when
yeah,
I heard it. It was weighing so heavily on my chest that I almost slightly could not get a breath out because I don't like it's bad enough that I've experienced racism from the others, either being in the city of New York or outside in college, but to see it amongst our people, to others who have said it, whether I've watched it or not, is like, oh, it's, I can't even explain the words
yeah.
of
No, I
the
get it.
vitriol that comes out. Is like, are you serious?
Right,
What are we doing?
right.
It's bad enough when I'm listening to rap lyrics or whatever, and we say the word, and then they turn around and say, "Oh, we use it as a word of endearment or power." Tell that to the people that were hanging from trees for that. Tell that to them first,
Hmm. Because
and then
people,
you can go around and say it.
right.
If they say it's okay, if they allowed to lay in their graves and say, I will go back and lay in my grave or hang from a tree because I now feel empowered that we can take that word back, then say it to them.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if you cannot honestly in your gut feel that, don't utter the word. Find something else. I don't care. You could pick an any,
yeah.
whatever.
But see, this is where it comes in. Well, before I say that, y'all gotta stop saying these songs. Y'all gotta know something about me. I have a song for everything. So when y'all go out here putting these songs in my head, it's gonna be stuck. So now we have
I'll be right back.
Tony Braxton breathe again. So now that's gonna be all I can hear is her deep voice in my head. But anyway, people often confuse the fact that the GA at the ending of the word is different from the ER. And like I didn't say the ER, I said the GA. And it's the same because it's about the distinction, well, it is about the where the word derived from. So no matter what word you choose with the ending of, the beginning is still the same. And that's the beginning where it started off in time, and that's the beginning of where it started off with in the vocabulary and the words that are actually used in the word. It starts off the same, but it ends differently. So what will make you think that it actually means something different? It doesn't. You're just changing the context of what you're using it in. So by changing the context of what you're using it in, doesn't always change the definition. We have a lot of words in the vocabulary that are spelled differently but mean different things. So tell me how these two things mean different. They're not synonyms. They're not antonyms. They're not. I know Patty Duke, right? They're not synonyms. They're not antonyms. Tell me how the differentiation between the two. And the fact of the matter is that nobody can tell me a valid reason as to why they're different. I know the differentiation that people often utilize on why they think it's different, but it does not make it any better. So we gotta take the time to change our practices and what we think, how we display it, what we teach at home, or the words that we use at home. Because the fact of the matter is, a lot of stuff that I say, I learned at home. I learned how to cuss at home. I didn't learn it in school in the streets. I learned how to cuss at home, and then I went to school and used it on the people that were in school that I was in school with because I knew what it meant. I knew the context and how to use it because I learned it. So we have to be responsible for what we do and what we say, and we have to be also responsible to go back and apologize in the event that what we say hurts and or bothers somebody.
Isn't
Because
accurate. Because if it's wrong, it's wrong. If
yeah,
if you peg somebody to be a certain way and you were wrong, be man or woman enough to say, you know what, I was wrong.
yeah, but a lot of people don't feel like they have to do that because they're getting paid to say whatever they want to say, and YouTube creates
For,
that.
for the moment.
Yeah, for the moment, because YouTube can change its policies tomorrow, and you will be deuces. If you pay attention, the policies keep changing. Everybody, oh, YouTube wasn't like that. Well, YouTube is supposed to change, and they're changing because of what you're doing and your peers are doing.
Right. They ain't changing because of what the others is doing.
Right,
But they ain't not focused on them. They focused on you.
right. You and your beef sector. Stupid.
Irritates me every time I hear that.
Every time I hear the word this sector,
We
I
supposed to be beefing. Why? Why? Why can't we be something greater than just beefing? And it's cool because that's what we've grown up. We've all grown up to dissing each other and having no moments where you cry. Your mama's we've
yeah.
had that.
But your mama, we knew that our mamas weren't those things. So you can say whatever you want to say about my mama because I'm gonna turn around and say your mama.
Right.
So
Go ahead.
yeah,
Armand,
that's the
you go
question.
ahead.
Mom, what's up?
Go ahead. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I don't know. Right, the dozens, as they would call it. Yeah, but it's like, come on, we don't need to go right playing it up. We've done that, but we don't need to take it to an extreme.
Hey Andrea,
Hey, Andrea, what's going on?
and let this be known. We come in peace. However, if what is being said tonight offends you, do something different. That's number one. But number two, if what is being said tonight you feel like it's being directed to you and you so feel the need to respond, we won't take it lightly. So
I'll say it
please
like
don't
this.
do that.
We come in peace, but we can break pieces.
And that's not I'm just saying, like,
There's
so
no
please
threat. I'm just
get
saying.
up on I'm gonna don't we don't do that to you, don't do that to us. We're just expressing our opinion. If it's true, I'm sorry that it's true for you. Maybe you should do something different.
Yeah. Like if it affects you or if it tigs or tugs at your character, maybe you need to look at the character in which you are, the person in which you are. Take a
Yeah,
second look. That's all.
totally, totally. Somebody, oh, Armand asked,
Yeah,
wanted to
I'm
ask.
on X for a question, but I haven't seen it yet. Did you see it?
No, that's what I was looking for.
Uh,
Hey, Tiana,
and I'm sorry for keeping everybody this long, but I thank you for sticking around or coming
I was
on.
ready to put my granny voice on.
I appreciate it.
What's in what cup?
What's in what cup? My cup? Oh, it was E&J, but it's no longer. Yeah, I'm old head. I'm older, so yeah.
That's some nasty old stuff. I'm sorry.
Uh,
Needed to know
no,
for no, come
just,
on through. Like ask the question. Stop playing with it and spit it out.
yeah,
Or
just
shoot it in the email or something if it's
hey,
too
bro, this is grown. So
yeah. I
whatever,
mean
just
spit it out. We don't need no approval because if you don't like it, we got a mod that will fix you up if if we need to.
the Haitian queen will
Yeah, Erky Jerk is
execute you.
woo.
Yeah, but no, it's definitely
Yeah,
fine.
what flavor is it?
It's regular. I don't.
Ooh,
That's what that's.
that just made my soul
I
cry.
would say I grew up on it, but in my earlier 20s, that's all I knew. I didn't know all this stuff.
Yeah, we crowned her as of last go Haitian
Queen.
Queen,
Yes,
even
princess
though
is
you know the
definitely
French had to change her name, but
Haitian Queen is definitely fitting for her, and not for nothing, just because she's very supportive, and I totally appreciate that.
yeah, she is often here, and if not,
Yeah.
she you know why.
Not she lets me know why she cannot, and no slight to anybody else, but it's just the relationship I have with her,
Right,
and like Mr. Credential knows, the relationship I have with him is different. But the
right.
fact that she reaches out and lets me know, hey, I'm not going to be able to do whatever, or I'm here. I
It's
and
not to be
you have
taken.
you have my utmost respect.
Right.
Um,
Where is what's his name? Armand. You
yeah,
got you got like
mom,
30 seconds.
right. Oh, we just gonna totally just be like, okay, you ain't about it.
Yeah. And
Oh,
you must save that for
yeah,
next week or for email or something. You got
right.
30 seconds. You got a minute. When the clock strikes 10:04, it's gonna be a okay. How did you end up in this sector? Which uh,
Um, okay, well, that's a good question.
oh
Okay,
we got
this
some more
what happened,
time. Should
and
I
then
tell her or should
and
she
this is
tell?
what happened. This had nothing to do with me. It had just had everything to do with YouTube. I was watching certain people, quote unquote, in this particular sector, and then it was just like, hey, if you like them or watch them, here's a suggestion. So then I just started like clicking on people because, be very truthful, I've been watching YouTube since like '09, but I was watching random videos. It wasn't like I was watching these particular people videos, but as I started watching more and more people videos, I guess, in this sector, they were like, okay, well, then you will like this person, that person, this person, that person. So then I was like, oh, well, I don't really like to do what they do unless it's like directed towards me. However, you know what? I could do this. I like this. I like politics, and I'm done this. So maybe I could do that. So that's where I chose to kind of drive
Right,
the thing. And I've spoken to bigger YouTubers who I am, cordial with, and it was like, hey, you know what? Try, do it.
right,
We don't necessarily have it in our sector, but it would be great.
right,
And that's just what I did because I never looked at the sector as, oh, if I'm not beefing, I don't care to be here. I
right,
felt it as one, first and foremost, it's my people.
right, right,
Two, don't matter where I'm at,
right,
I can reach somebody. I don't care if I reach two people.
right,
If I get them to say, you know what, I never thought about that. Well, I
right,
didn't think about it that way. I've done whatever I needed to do. And
right,
that's just how I took it.
right.
So
And
that,
let's be clear, because Imma say it, he didn't come from anybody's house of anything. He just so happened to get called out a few times and just so happened to, because he's a likable person and like I don't have any offense from anyone, just happened to go along with it. But he created his content on his own. No house, nobody, no nothing created him. Nobody started him. The only thing they did was put his name in their mouths because that's what people do on YouTube. Nobody created him. So the theory that someone came from somebody's house is false. And I don't particularly care what anybody has to say about it, if anybody's upset about it, or if anybody goes back and tells anybody. I don't care. But I'm telling you that based on the conversations that Cap and I had, he did not come from
yeah,
anybody's house. I watched him
yeah,
being a close friend of his, where he started and what he started with and why he did it and how he did it, and even watched him in other people's chats. So no house or no anything made him. No house or anything developed him. No house or anything can claim him. He was his own person doing his own thing that just so happened to be in conjunction with someone. Just like Cap can't say he made me, and I can't say I made Cap.
yeah,
We're in conjunction together, and whatever fame that we develop from that is just that. But Cap can't say that he made me. So nobody can say that they made Cap and that he's from anywhere. So I'm sorry if that's offensive to someone, but it is the God honest truth, and I will put it on a grave.
Right.
So please stop.
Yeah. I totally get it. Um, and you could attest that other than you, and sometimes even you, they would call and be like, they see something on the news. What's going on? What's that? What's that got to do with anything that I'm dealing with today? And I would go through the explanation and we hang up the phone.
Right,
And I just came with the, you know what? Let me do a channel so people can stop calling me.
right,
Because every time something would happen or a new program or something would be implemented, somebody would be calling my phone like, hey, what does this mean for me? And I was like, you know what? Let me just do this.
right,
Once I started to see how YouTube works, I was like, okay, well, let me just do this. So maybe, therefore, you could stop calling me. You can look at whatever I post and be like, okay, I get a better understanding. And
right,
that's really what it boils down to. Now, I can't say that I haven't met some good people
right.
off
Of
of
course.
YouTube. I'm not going to say that.
Right.
The people have been gracious or what have you, and some don't see it from me, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, they
I
don't
don't
say it for
lose
you
no
because you won't do what they want you to do so that they can be seen through you. Let's be
right,
clear.
and I won't lose no sleep, and I hope they don't either. But at the end of the day, I will continue to do me and do what I feel is important, and what I feel is important, whether we have a president in the office at 2020 or not. Still, laws and things and programs will be changed regardless of who's in office. So there
Right,
will always be a need for somebody to tell you, hey, this is what's happening right under your nose.
right,
So if that's my place, that's my place. And I'm
right.
cool with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree. All right, Ness, no mess. Thanks for coming through. I
Yeah.
know we've been long-winded tonight, so I thank you for
Yeah.
hanging
This
for.
has been the longest ever. Hey, Miss Craig. Hi, Nest No Mess. Hey, Miss Craig. How you doing, girl?
It's correct. Did I miss something?
Yeah, that's Craig. That's no mess is Craig.
Oh,
She's cool. She's cool. I mean, she's very talented. And girl, I hope you take your talent and soar with it. Don't let it
I've never
hinder
seen. I have
you.
to check it out.
It's long, but you good. Don't let it hinder you. But you are great. Um, all the other stuff, I can kind of bypass, but you are definitely great. The fact that you could change your voice into a man's voice and a woman's voice and do that so effortlessly, almost, because I caught it. Um, but it's great. So hey,
Cool,
keep it going. Uh,
cool.
but other than that, again, thank you so much to all the content creators that have come and stopped in. Johnny Mac, please, if you aren't familiar with Johnny Mac, he is a man of God. He has a word, just like many other content creators. But of course, we can all learn from someone.
Right.
So if you see a content creator that you're not familiar with, please hit them up. Like I said, Johnny Mac. I know Lady T Velocity was in the building. That's an actual content creator. Anybody else that's a content creator, please put a one in the chat. If I
Don't
don't
call
know you or
people out.
you just
Just
started,
let everybody grab people up because that can be offensive
yeah,
to
yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Just grab the person up and definitely, they're definitely somebody you can learn from, grow from, and keep it moving.
Thank you, official D. We appreciate it. And we we normally say, we're all tapped out, but no, this time the tap is dry, the well is dry. We're gonna check this thing out for the night. And
Yeah.
thank you guys for coming through. We appreciate it. And we look forward to hanging out with you again next week.
That, as always, too.
As always. And now that you know that we keep it a whole stack here, beyond the politics and the wellness, we got a few layers peeled back from us. You
Few,
know what we really feel, how we really think, and who. we are on a little bit more of a level. So I think that you guys learned a little bit more about us tonight.
Right.
So, um,
That's it. That's about it. God bless. Good night. Again, our emails are in the description box. If you choose to email us for whatever reason, whether it be a political question or a mental wellness question or something you can be directed to, feel free to hit the email box. Other than that, please like, share, and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. And with that, that's all we have to say. And peace and good night.
out.
All right.